Welcome back to Night Call. We have a drunk cop in our cab who's spilling secrets about the toxic environment he works in, particularly towards homosexuals, which is a tale as old as time when it comes to hyper-masculine jobs like being a policeman. But it's hitting down on this guy. I think that he's about to get married to his partner, but the people he works with are never going to accept his husband. It's a tricky thing to come to terms with, especially in a role where your colleagues kind of have to depend on so much. Karate Kid. He seems uncomfortable. It's my nickname on the squad. Karate. Yeah, I was a judo champion. And I'm a gook. They're also racist. So he runs his hands along the sides of his body, like he's showcasing it for the Home Shopping Network. So, Karate Kid. Yeah, I know, it makes no sense. It's racist, for one. Well, yeah, a little. But at first I didn't say anything. And now, I'm used to it. He stops suddenly. Everything's spinning again. Can you pull over? A repeat of last time. He opens the door, leans his head out, his torso, his arms. The sound makes your stomach churn, so you stare straight ahead. Okay, can I ask you a question? More puke on the sidewalk, a little inside the vehicle. Go ahead. Fine, shoot. He sits up, prompts you to drive. So here goes. What should I do? Should I keep on keeping on? Should I confess? Should I invite them to my wedding and surprise them? He pauses. It's a long one. Be straight with me. What would you do if you were me? If you were in my shoes? I think you're being hard on yourself. You're hurting yourself rather than trying to solve the problem. You're not going to change your sexual orientation or leave your husband. So there aren't a ton of alternatives. Oh. Thing is, if he tells them, I'm assuming we're in that kind of, I don't know if time period is right, it probably still happens now, but we're in that kind of sphere where coming out the closet is not going to be, everyone applauds and gives you prizes and says, oh, we're so sorry, you're one of the good ones, because it's either going to get you back, in the exact same place where, you're still being made fun of, but now you're like one of the good ones, so nothing changes, or things are going to get drastically worse. I can't see a situation in this sphere where things are going to get better. But he likes being a cop. I think he's just going to have to leave. I think he's going to have to leave here. There's other places to be a cop. Transfer. Hopefully you find somewhere a bit more accepting. Leave. Move. We sometimes start to suffocate in our own surroundings. We do stupid things because, you know what they say. It's really hard to save someone who's drowning. Because in a panic, the person drowning will hit the person trying to save them. And they both end up drowned. Exactly. Water makes us panic, tires us out, and we become a danger to others. You need a change of environment. His eyes shine dully in the mirror. You're awfully smart for a taxi driver. And you're a gay cop. Now you get a frank smile. Yeah, you're right. What if James and I went back to Australia? He nods, lost in thought. You've almost reached your destination. In the back seat, your passenger is almost asleep. You park in front of a small townhouse. There's a light on upstairs. He's still up. I'm going to talk to James. He looks at you. I don't really remember everything I said, but thanks. That was a weird smile. He chuckles. This taxi ride wasn't just in my imagination. Yeah, the vomit on it is. It's definitely not in your imagination. He pays and gets out of the taxi. You listen to his clumsy footsteps on the cobblestones. He climbs the few steps up to the door. Before he has time to find his keys, the door opens. Warm, soft light floods the street. You drive away. He was one of the suspects, wasn't he? I think a man who's just about to get married and has been working in an environment and smacks down on the whole time without complaint doesn't strike me as a type to murder random people. Not for justice or anything like that. That's another important guy there. Let's see what this guy can give me. Okay, just do a quick 360 there for some reason. I can listen to the radio. Herve Gralel. Hey pal, can you help me out? The door opens. It's Hervé, a homeless man like hundreds of others in Paris. Oh yeah, this is a guy who's homeless and who was part of the medical scandal. You've known each other for years, and every now and then he asks a favour of you to drive him someplace. As usual, he greets you quietly, though he always seems a little on edge. Hey, buddy. What's up, pup? Yeah, there's a strange verbal tick that you've never really understood. You start the cab. A passenger keeps looking over his shoulder, clearly worried. Everything okay, Hervé? Yeah, sure, no worries. The voice trails off. He seems to be collecting himself. It's just... There's a cough on my tail, Joe. No, his, tick is to rhyme with the last word, maybe? Has anybody come around asking about me? What do you mean? You know, like, from the crime squad? No one's been talking to me about you. The guy's been driving me crazy. Asking all those questions, digging up my past. You know what I mean? Digging up your past? Like my old girlfriends and stuff, where I used to live. Why I left the shelter skelter. At first I thought it was that killer, you know, the serial killer. That he was after me. Why would he be after you? Because I saw his face. He pauses, just enough time for your brain to process the information. You gotta look at the judge? Your passenger gives you a funny smile. Sorry, I'm in profile, Mal. His profile or his face? Profile, but what's the difference? I was like 50 feet away from him, man. I was like sleeping in an alley just across from the street where you know, he killed his last victim. My stomach hurt and I couldn't sleep and you know, I saw him in profile. He had this weird way of walking, sort of hunched over as if he were tired. That's all. Yeah, that's all I saw. He had on black gloves and the streets were dark. I didn't see anything else. So he walks hunched over. Could be he's old, could be he's injured. He's staring at you. Why do you care, man? I'm just curious, is all. Yeah, well, if that cop comes round, you tell him to go fuck off. I'm not telling the police anything, not a damn thing. A note of anger has crept back into his voice. Goddamn cops. They never know when we need them. I sure as hell ain't gonna help, yo. They can go kick sick. He looks away, furious. You keep quiet and focus on the road. All of a sudden, your passenger gives the seat back in front of him a thump. Hey, stop right here, near. You slow down and pull over as soon as you can. Okay, I'm out of here. Is everything alright? Yeah, sure, no worries. Just little business to take care of. The door opens and closes, and Hervé vanishes into the darkness. You open the window on your side. You're dying for a cigarette. To relieve the pressure. Calm your racing heart. Take a deep breath, then drive away. We got fat nothing for that, but we did get a clue at least. Anyone else? No. That looks like that's all the important ones. Let's go fuel up, and then we'll probably take one job on the side. See what we can get. See who we like the look of, I think. Maybe this lady, she's close. You pull over and stop at a gas station. Not a soul in sight. The fluorescent lights irritate your eyes, and the smell of pee is wafting up from the space in between the pumps. Self-service here. You pay directly at the pump. The mini-mart over there must sell newspapers. The person behind the counter must see and hear things. Might be worth asking a couple of questions. I don't know why, but Parisian gas stations are always frightening. You check out your surroundings before getting out of the taxi. Fill up the tank. Let's go up to max. Tank full. 37 euros, not too bad. You walk into the mini-mart. The guy behind the counter doesn't even look at you when he starts to talk in a lazy, lifeless tone. Yes. Newspaper, Joyeux Souverain. Cash, cash, cash. That's a scratch card. That's we've already got a newspaper, I think. Talk to the clerk. So, a guy like you, who spends most of his nights here, you must know something about the killer, right? Wow, real subtle. He raises his head and seems almost happy you brought it up. Okay. Got a new clue. Alright. Not a word from the guy behind the counter. You, on the other hand, curse automatically as you put one foot out into the freezing cold. Well, we got a clue. Don't know what the clue was, but he gave us something. It's that guy with the hat again. I'm curious about the guy with the hat, and there's no crucial one, so let's go talk to Mr. Man in the hat. It's like a weird symbol on that hat. I think it's fucking Stargate SG-1 up in here. Who are you, my friend? Sean Christie. I have to go home. You another drunkard? No, he's just upset. The passenger is getting in your cab is clearly upset. He gives you an address near the Pantheon. You know the address, a residence for foreign students. You often drive American and Chinese students there. You start the cab. The passenger is in the back seat is furious about something. Excuse me. He has a very thick American accent. I'm not doing an American accent. I can barely do any sorts of English accent. You look up. Can I ask you something? You nod. How do the police usually treat black people in your country? I mean in general, what is their behaviour like? He isn't very sure in his pronunciation. Answer honestly. I'd say the police have a problem with black people. You reveal your teeth as you continue speaking. And Arabs. And anyone wearing a hoodie. Hoodie? Yeah, wearing sweats. Yeah, if you dress like someone from the poor neighbourhoods, they give you a hard time. What does Raquel mean? It's a new word to him. You shake your head. Well, it's a word with sort of negative connotations. Negative? Yes, definitely. It gives you a little smile. Now I get it. They thought I was a lowlife. A Raquel. A Raquel? Even with your accent? It's odd. It always strikes me as odd that Paris, of all places, is so hostile. I guess this might be ye olde Paris. I guess it can't be that long ago, because we're talking about guns in the 70s. But, yeah, even now it's got a bit of a rep, despite it being full of tourists. Well, they didn't seem to understand me very well. Or maybe I thought I was making fun of them? He sighs. You give him a second to catch his breath. His anger seems to be letting up. Is everything alright? He gives you a strange look. I don't know. I'm not feeling well. He takes a deep breath. Look, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have jumped on you with that question like that. Don't worry about it. This afternoon after school, I got mugged in the metro by some guy. His voice drops to a whisper. He was the same age as me. He stole my money and phone. He raises his voice a little. Luckily, I still have my credit card and my papers. I went straight to the police station, and I was there for 8 hours. I'm tired, upset, about ready to quit. He raises his voice even more. I like France, but it's just hard here as it is at home. People look down on you because they don't like the look of you. That's the right expression, isn't it? You nod yes. They say France is the land of freedom, of human rights. We have to behave a certain way here too. The right way. He screws up his eyes. I'd like to be judged objectively. But I guess there's no such thing as objectiveness. He settles back into his seat. What are you studying? Excuse me? A minute ago you said you were leaving school when you were mugged. What are you studying? I'm studying to be a mime. Okay, wasn't expecting that. A pause. Go ahead, say it. I didn't say anything. No, but go ahead. I'm used to it. I'm not going to make fun of it or anything. I just didn't know mime schools existed. He gives you a big smile. Imagine when I moved to France to study it. My American friends are still having a good laugh. What exactly are you learning to do? Acting techniques, stage production, makeup. That's transferable skills, I guess. Anything related to the art of mime, really. Aren't there any mime schools in the US? I don't know. I suppose that you do get mimes around, but it's a very uniquely French thing, isn't it? Is it a good school? The best. His face breaks into a smile. That's why I'm still in France, for that matter. You sigh. France is not for everyone. What do you mean? I mean the French usually stand up for their country. They're worse than the Americans, yeah. At least the Americans don't guillotine people. A country is like a romantic relationship. You can't fall in love with everybody. We have our likes, our dislikes, then we fall under the spell again. He's watching you. Are all cab drivers philosophers like you? You flash a smile. I don't think so. The passenger gives a little laugh, and his eyes glaze over with an expressionless, perhaps even sad look. Thanks, man. It was good to talk to you. He slipped into the informal to form, no doubt by accident. I have a hard time controlling my anger sometimes. That's why I had trouble with the police today. How so? Well, to start, they made me sit in a room for hours with a woman who was clearly a prostitute. They didn't want to take my statement. They didn't want me to file a complaint. I had to insist. They made fun of my studies, but I'm used to that. A small smile appears at the corner of his mouth. And then, when I started to get a little mad when I mentioned the American embassy, they said if I wasn't happy here, I should go home. Certain innuendos were a little... When I got out, there were no more metros, so here I am, telling my life story to a philosopher cabbie. He gives you a smile. Cops, it's complicated here. Do they treat you badly too? You smile and shake your head. No need for him to know. Suddenly the Pantheon appears among the dark buildings. Its white dome breaks up the dull orange and brown tones of the Parisian night sky. Your passenger breathes a little sigh of satisfaction. It's beautiful, isn't it? No doubt about it. You park in front of the residence where the young man lives. He pays the fare. Stretches his hand towards you. Thanks again. Meeting you was just what I needed. You shake his hand. He has a strong, confident grip. You know, you should film your rounds at night. Make a great series. You answer with a smile. He opens the door, gives you a big smile, then disappears. You hold your arms close to your sides for a moment. You catch your breath, trying to control the anxiety welling up inside. The mere mention of police and... You start the cab. What the hell's going on there? Someone's got like a mask on, it's like a fencing mask. Oh, someone important. But I think we're going to spill over if we take the cab then. So let me just pause real quick. So there we go. We've got a couple of clues tonight. Nothing I think that it's case cracking, but we're doing pretty good. What's my Pasidex? Ah, it's like people. That's from last time. It kind of tells us like what we've done. We've met Vincent. You've met Salim. You met Dennis, knew you'd recognised him. Dennis tried to explain why he's not racist. I guess we can like meet up with them again maybe and get like more stuff. Yeah, it's gotta be it. It's all locked. First time you met, you said nothing. It goes off different like playthroughs as well, I think. No, it's because it's passenger index, isn't it? Pasidex. Anyway, we shall leave it there. And I will be back with more Night Call a bit later. We've talked to some different people this time around, done some different stuff, so hopefully it's made this start playthrough a bit more interesting for you. And I'm looking forward to getting back to it. This is kind of cool. Either way, thank you very much for watching. If you like my content, please do check out my other videos, and if you do, I shall see you there. Good